Hi, I'm Dana. Today I want to talk about separation anxiety. A lot of people email me and say, my 8-month-old, my 10-month-old, my 2-year-old is going through a period of separation anxiety. And I want to give you some tips here today for dealing with that. First of all, that is normal behavior, right? We all get a little bit of separation anxiety. In fact, if my husband goes on a business trip, I feel a little bit of separation anxiety, don't we all, when a loved one leaves for a period of time. So completely normal reaction to have, but I want to help you minimize it as much as possible. Now, let me tell you a little story about my own son. I have a son who he has some high anxiety. That's just part of his personality. And I know that he looks for a lot of reassurance around things. But the truth of the matter is that the reassurance doesn't help, right? It almost makes the problem worse. It's like the person that's afraid to fly. They're looking for reassurance from everybody that flying is safe, but there is no end to how much reassurance they need. They need unlimited reassurance because they have that fear. So that can be the same thing with separation anxiety, that if you reassure and never let the baby be alone and always fly back into the room every time they express some displeasure about your leaving, you are reassuring them, but it's not helpful. Okay, so one of the main reasons why a baby in particular has separation anxiety is because they don't understand yet that just because you're out of sight doesn't mean you've disappeared from the planet. So they worry that you're gone, you're absolutely gone, and you're not coming back. So you can do little things like playing peekaboo is a great way to introduce a baby to the idea of object permanence, that just because I can't see you doesn't mean you stop existing. Or just get them engaged in an activity and walk away for a minute or two and then come back before they're upset, right? Then they realize, oh, she's walked away, but here she comes again, and I'm not upset about that. Distraction works really well, right? If you have to leave the room to go to the bathroom, for example, you want to get your baby engaged in something. If they're playing with a toy or building with some blocks or doing some coloring or eating a snack, and they're distracted by what their task is, then they're not as likely to have issue with you walking away for a few minutes. So distraction works really well. I'm not a believer in sneaking out, right? A lot of people, if their baby gets upset, they don't want their baby upset, so they sneak away, right? Get the baby engaged with the babysitter and then make your exit. And that, in my opinion, just kind of reinforces this idea that if you're out of sight, you're gone, and I need to make a big production about that. So I believe it's better to say goodbye to the baby, that you are leaving now, and have the baby see you go. And yes, she may cry, but I want you to keep in mind that that is not the end of the world. It really isn't. I think we become so oversensitive to our child's upset that we're doing all kinds of wrong things to prevent it. So say goodbye, and if she cries, right? The good news is 5 minutes after you've left the house, she's having fun with a babysitter and she's not crying anymore. So I know that's hard. I'm a mom too, I get it. But I've even I taught grade 1, and I'd have, at least one grade 1er every September, cry and chase his mom down the hallway, and she'd linger and she'd hang around, and I'd have to finally say, just go. Once you go, he's fine. You just have to go. So that's my biggest tip, is just go. I mean, you still have to leave your baby from time to time, and the more practice and exposure they have to it, the more they will understand that, right, it's okay. She goes, but she always comes back. All right, I hope that helps you a little bit. Thanks so much for watching today. Sleep well.